Hey folks, welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
We're going to be talking about 3 generations of Bloodshot because there is a Bloodshot movie in theaters right now. I've seen it.
We have not.
That's the world I live in. There's a Bloodshot movie.
Yeah, never thought I'd see the day.
No. We got Bloodshot number 1, Bloodshot USA number 1, and the brand new Bloodshot number 1.
Bloodshot 2020.
Yeah, Bloodshot 2020, Bloodshot 1992, and Bloodshot 2016. This one's Bloodshot USA. It's the only other Bloodshot number 1 I had from this era.
I'm sorry, Sal. This was published in February of '93.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh.
So 93 Bloodshot.
This is written by Kevin Van Hook, drawn by Don Perlin. We are in a British airport
Yes.
in '92. November of '92. They're dating themselves by being like, this is the time that we are in.
Yeah.
Bloodshot International. That's why I thought it was 1992.
Right, because they keep telling you what year you're in the actual story.
Yeah, but it's a comic, so it took a while to come out.
It's
It
true.
did, yeah. It's true.
They wrote it, and then somebody had to freaking draw it all.
By somebody, you mean Don Perlin.
Thank you. Yes. My bad.
So we're in an airport, and Bloodshot is giving us a little bit of overlay.
Yeah, he does that.
And it's just like, all right, I got 3 INLA guys, which I assume are Irish National Liberation Army.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
There you go.
Now, I didn't know that at all.
Right,
I just had to assume.
I
based
don't
on
think
the
you're supposed to
initials.
know because I think it's made up because I think it's the IRA, but like.
But like,
I could be wrong. That could be if you're from Ireland
And
or
you're
the
like,
British
oh,
Isles,
no,
you might be,
that's very
the-
different.
It's a separate organization.
Yeah, but
not sure.
I mean,
just-
there could be many of them.
Well, because there's tons of made-up organizations in these books, but also
Particularly
real
in Bloodshot.
organizations.
Yeah, that's
They,
right.
Like,
yeah,
mix
because
and
there's
match.
also MI5 there, and MI5
Right.
is a real
It's
thing.
a real thing.
Yeah.
So who knows?
So the in-laws are here, MI5 is here, and like, there's a drop going on.
Oh, shit.
MI5 is like, holy crap, you're under arrest, because they see the drop going on.
Yeah.
And Bloodshot's like, no, I'm just gonna kill everybody. And Bloodshot just jumps in, guns a-blazing, in the middle of the airport.
Yep. He's
Someone
hardcore
says
like
bloody
that.
hell, someone says, oh my lord.
I know.
Yeah.
He kills the dropper and the droppee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the drop
Like
is essentially
instantly.
done.
Yeah, the drop's over. They drop.
He drops that.
And apparently MI5 is not really reacting, they're just kind of shocked that someone's on the scene.
Typical federal agents.
Yeah.
Just,
They're like, what?
oh.
So Bloodshot is murdering all the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one person's just like, you killed my Lucy! And she's like, you know, this would have been a lot easier if I hadn't known her name.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm Bloodshot, so I don't
cares?
care.
Yeah.
The guy was aiming at his heart, but Bloodshot moves so fast, it only gets him in the arm.
Oh, yeah, he's so fast.
Whoa.
So,
How
Speed.
fast is he? Yeah.
and they're like, oh, look at him, he's so fast, he's moving so fast. I've never seen anyone move that fast.
Yeah, we get it. He's
This
fast.
is a
Okay.
recurring theme in this book.
All right, he's fast.
And this is where Bloodshot starts to go into like his abilities. He's like, yeah, no one's ever seen me move this fast.
Yeah, right.
My adrenaline's maxed out. My oxygen levels are at 95% capacity.
So
in
he
my
has
lungs.
detailed knowledge of his inner, like,
Yeah.
And we're just like,
stats.
is that? I assume that's
Good.
a lot.
Yeah, right?
that's pretty good. That sounds like a lot to me. I don't know.
He books it out of the airport with the briefcase that was supposed to be the
The
drop.
drop.
Yeah.
And they're just like, should we go after him? And they're like, he's halfway to Manchester by now. Did you see how fast he was
See
going?
how fast he was?
He's
so
fast.
fast.
Okay, we get it. Bloodshot's fast. By the way, he's only like a block out of the airport. But
Yeah.
sure, yeah, he's halfway with me.
He actually hid on top of a bus,
Yep. One of those double-decker London buses.
a lorry, if you will. And
Right.
he got winged in the
Loves an
arm.
elevator.
I thought a lorry was a truck. An elevator's a lift.
A lift, yeah.
Yeah, an elevator's a lift. A lorry is a truck.
Yeah.
Is a bus not a lorry as well?
I don't know. Tell us in the comments down below.
What's
They're
a
like,
lorry?
they're like, it's just a bus.
Yeah, we call them buses.
Some of our words are the same. It's not all different.
The nanites in his blood, he mentions them, are increasing around the wound to push the bullet out.
Yeah.
The bullet gets
he's got
expelled from him. He's like,
healing, okay.
oh, thank God this wasn't a shot to my heart. I don't know how well I would have reacted.
Okay.
Which
So
is
he
like,
has vulnerabilities.
he has
Maybe.
vulnerabilities.
But he's not really sure.
This also makes me think like, he's not that impervious
Right.
as the movie makes him out to be.
Well,
Oh,
he
no,
doesn't
well-
necessarily know.
Well, in the
At
movie,
least not at this point.
the movie is mostly focusing on like this Valiant,
Yeah, okay.
like this Bloodshot.
Okay.
So like earlier on, maybe he was not as powerful.
Yeah, I think to make him a little more relatable
Yeah. Just like, Superman gains more in strength and power
as
it
he
goes on.
progresses in his career. Yeah.
We switch the scene, we go over to Osaka in Japan, the Project Rising Spirit headquarters.
Yep.
And there's this old guy, this person from Project Rising Spirit.
Yes.
He escaped from a facility, and like we have a video of a kid breaking in. We don't know who the kid is.
weird
attacking
headband.
one of the doctors, and Bloodshot wakes up, kills the doctors, infects one of the computers. He actually just like hovers his hands over them, and he says that he's gaining knowledge from the computers just by the nanites interfacing with it. He doesn't
Yes.
actually have to like key anything in.
Yep, that's one of his powers. He can interface with any electrical computer
Thing.
Yeah.
device. Yeah.
So he's just learning about himself, and then like he leaves.
And I guess he learns how to grow hair too.
Well, this was in a lab, so it's a possibility that
Maybe they were
Maybe
shaving.
always
shaving him
able
or
to.
something. Yeah. Oh, that's true.
They do say he grew his hair
Yes.
in a very particular fashion.
Yeah, the logo for Project Rising Spirit is like the haircut.
Yeah.
Oh,
His
that's
scalp
why he-
bears the brand of Rising Spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
He's armed and clothed, of course, now, instead of just running around like a naked man.
Yeah. He does keep his bullets on his shoulder pads, as you are wont to do.
Well, I mean, that's the cool way to do it. If you're wearing a
It does
bandolier of some
look
sort.
awesome.
It does look awesome, I guess.
Makes it really hard to reload, though.
Yeah,
I gotta
just
get
hold
the
on a
bullet here.
minute. Yeah. But he's fast.
He's so fast it doesn't matter.
He's mentioning that with Project Rising Spirit, normally, because there are apparently soldiers that have been like him before,
Yeah, blood shots before him.
Yeah.
but when you run at that kind of high capacity, it's like burning the candle at both ends.
Right.
Yes, you're twice as bright, but you burn out in half the time.
Yeah.
But this Bloodshot doesn't, and it's possible that he could go on infinitely.
Right. Oh,
So
no.
They've
they wanna
perfected
get
the
him back.
Bloodshot formula.
Yes.
And he's like, look, and he pans out, and we're talking to two other Bloodshots, and one really looks like a severe German, like, Fraulein.
Yes, she does.
But apparently that's a dude. So the old man is like, look, I want him back. I don't care in what capacity, just bring him back.
Yep.
Because like he holds the key to this kind of longevity.
Yeah, I guess.
To
Yeah.
me, not dying because I'm an old man and that's all what I always want.
Probably.
Yeah.
So Bloodshot ends up in London's East End. He is bringing the briefcase back.
The package.
Yeah. It's got money in it. That's why he says they're splitting the.
The take.
Yeah, he has to take 20% or something like that.
Yeah.
As it turns out, it's just crackers, so he gets 20% of the crackers.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the
Crackers.
saltines.
So Bloodshot's eyes are red. Apparently, when he's being Bloodshot and when he's not being Bloodshot, he has normal eyes.
Yeah, that way he can like infiltrate. You'll notice his skin is also a little less white.
Yeah.
But that could be a coloring error.
Right. But his eyes.
This is the first
That's
time.
a
though.
thing. He
That's the
turns
thing.
them
The
red.
fact that
when
his
he's-
eyes aren't red and he doesn't look as white suggests that maybe when he's not as bloodshot-y,
Right.
you know, he can assimilate.
He gets to London's East End. He's in an apartment. Malcolm, his contact, walks in, and just like, "Oh, come on, man! I thought you'd be here sooner. You were on the telephone like an hour ago."
He's fun.
He'll be a character later, I guess.
So, oh yeah, they open up the briefcase. There's money in it.
Yeah.
And Bloodshot has a CD.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Whoa, you're gonna need like some kind of CD-ROM in order to read that."
Yeah.
Bloodshot's like, "No, I'll just play it on my stereo."
Yep.
Yeah.
Because since it's technology, I can just interface with it.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to the data as it plays.
I actually kind of enjoyed that because he's like, "Can you read that?" He's like, "I can't." But the
nanites
machine
Yeah.
here can read it, and then I can interface with the machine and get the data off. And I'm
Right.
like, that's kind of cool because you need a laser to read it, and he doesn't have any lasers on his body, but there's a laser in the video player.
Right.
And it's just
Or
reading.
in the
and he's like, so I can like make it read data instead of like reading it into like audio and video.
Right.
Except if you
that's
try and put
kinda
it in,
cool.
it's going to say error.
error.
Well, yeah, but he'll just override the software. and
Right.
make it-
So the drop was apparently about the CD, but also they were trading the CD for the money. So he stole both the CD and the money.
Yeah.
And essentially, Malcolm gets a cut of the money, and Bloodshot gets the rest, but he also gets the CD. That's the most important
That's
thing.
what he wants.
And he's transcoding. He's like getting the information off of this thing, and there's a word that keeps being repeated. It's Kennelly, and it's a name, and just like it keeps coming up. He's like, all right, so this is a person. This is the person that I want.
Yeah.
I have to find this Kennelly person.
Get out, Malcolm.
And he's like, all right, cool, get out. He heads over to the Thames. This is 2 days later, where a drop is going on, or some kind of,
Clandestine meeting of some kind.
yeah, some mafia thing.
Yes.
And Bloodshot attacks them, and they're like, oh man, we're being attacked, quick. Die, I guess, because these are mob guys.
And they do quickly.
No.
Very, very easily, too. Like, this guy Bloodshot cuts the fingers off of a man holding a gun.
Ugh.
like this is kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
It's a bloody
there's a lot of
book.
blood in this.
You know, there's
book.
no comics code authority on Bloodshot.
I got the impression that like their claim to fame at the time was that they can show blood in books.
Yes.
And
They
like the
do
blood
it a
is
lot.
red.
Yeah,
Right.
it's red. It looks
Yeah.
nothing like blood, but like whatever. It's
Bloodshot even says like, you know, I'm hyped up again, and like I kind of like the killing, and that scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop me.
No.
And like when I hype up like this, like it's like they're moving in slow motion. I can take anybody down.
Right.
So he's like, I want you to tell me about Project Rising Spirit, because even though he left Project Rising Spirit and interfaced with the computers, he doesn't know all of it. His
Yeah.
past is still
He's trying
kind
to
of
piece it
shadowy.
together.
Exactly.
He
Who
doesn't
am
know
I?
about
He's Wolverine.
himself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's Wolverine in the movie.
So he gets attacked by this wonderful
Bloodshot poster.
Bloodshot poster in the middle.
Why
the
is this in
poster?
my
What?
comic and not in a frame in my office?
Oh, that's a good question. But inside this book, there's also a fantastic The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly
Oh
ad,
my god!
Oh.
which is perfect.
Yep.
And it's for Terminator, the good, Aliens, the bad, and Predator, the ugly.
Yeah. All video games.
Way to go, LJN Arena Entertainment.
Yeah. LJN made very bad video games.
Oh yes.
But hey,
But hey.
perfect for the show.
Yeah.
As it turns out, it's the two guys that were in Project Rising Spirit's office.
Yeah, the other Bloodshot.
who are
Yeah.
contracted to bring him back. Bloodshot has to fight these two people,
Oh no.
but they're just as strong as him.
yeah.
And they tackle him off of the pier, which is where they were having their clandestine meeting on the Thames, onto a boat in the Thames.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh man, there's two of them and it's like close quarters and I can't get away from them and I gotta like try and take one out, not the other.
Because I think he wants to interrogate them at least, or get some information from them.
I don't know. He's kind of describing like the difficulty of the fight, and he's basically saying like I got to get them like separate because like
I can't take
can't
both
take
of
both
them
at
at
the same
once.
time.
yeah, because they're both basically as strong as him. So it's like I got to
Right.
fight one and then the other, but in the circumstances of the fight are like preventing him from doing that.
Right.
It's
His
like
speed
trying to
means nothing.
Right. It's trying to explain like why he's not able to win this fight.
I know we just built him up and how awesome he was
Yeah.
for the first half, but like,
we also got to put in like a threat to him. So
Yeah.
But like one bloodshot versus two bloodshots, I guess two bloodshots are gonna win.
yeah.
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 And indeed they do.
They tackle him off of the boat, underwater. One of them puts a garrote around his neck.
Yeah.
The other one starts like chaining him to one of the pilings for the pier. And he's like, they're crushing my ribs. They're choking me out. My oxygen deficiency is still at 99% though.
Well, yeah,
But
he's-
there's barely any air in my lungs.
Right. So it's not enough.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I don't know what to do. But wait, their blood is like mine. And he reaches out with his nanites and he causes their blood to pump hard and fast
Yes.
and make their brains explode.
Yeah.
Which
So
they do.
He can defeat
Other blood
other
shots.
blood shots by thinking.
Yeah.
It's like the cheapest win ever.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, so like there is nothing that could hurt you.
Well, you can't be beaten by bloodshot.
Right. You can't just make another bloodshot and beat him that way.
Exactly.
It's not gonna work.
I'm the one and only.
Yeah.
Baby.
So like he gets back to the surface. And as he gets to the surface, I think there's an MI5 agent waiting for him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Well,
There's a
mate-
guy from the beginning of the book, and he's like, ah,
Bloodshot, finally.
yes.
oh, it's about time.
Maybe we could be on the same side.
I had a bet you would be the one to make it back up top. You're like, you were watching the whole time? You didn't help me, you asshole.
What was I to do?
He's like, you know, you messed up a pretty important agent at Heathrow, but you did save me the hassle of having a trial with these guys. So, you know, I guess we'll call it even. It's all half questions and half answers.
Yeah.
We don't get...
They're super cool.
Yeah.
They don't talk in complete
But it's great
sentences.
because his internal monologue is like, yeah, they took something from me.
Me. I guess his back story is history.
His history.
Yeah.
Who am I?
am
What's
I?
my real name?
Yeah.
Anyway, apparently
Cool.
Kennelly understands who Bloodshot is.
Okay.
Not Bloodshot, but who Bloodshot was.
Yeah, the guy he was before. The man he was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before they took everything from him.
Damn.
This is like Punisher if Punisher had amnesia.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Because...
Well, and also was like super strong and
And had powers,
Yeah.
and you
Well,
didn't
he
know who
shoots
he
people.
was.
yeah.
but
or
we
Wolverine
turn
if
the
he
page.
used guns.
We're in Little Italy in Manhattan. And this is November.
Right.
Like a
it
couple
was
days
in the
later.
beginning. Yeah.
And they're talking to Mr. Carboni,
Yeah.
which I don't think is Mr. Kennelly, or
It
they
is
messed
not.
up the
No,
name.
it's
Yeah,
a
right.
different guy.
It's a different guy. This is
Different guy.
Carboni.
So this is Carboni. Anyway, it's just like, look at this photo of this person who we thought was dead, and Angelo Mortali.
Yeah. Is
I was
Bloodshot.
Like, is Bloodshot. I'm like, but we thought he was dead. Well, apparently, we were wrong.
Oh,
And they're Italian, so like, apparently, we were wrong.
come on.
Yeah. So this book is about the mob and about Bloodshot finding out who his real
And like,
identity is.
was he
Yeah.
tied to the mob? Did he like
Right.
rat
he
on
like
the
an
mob?
enforcer? Yeah.
Like, what was he?
Yeah.
We'll never
We
know.
don't know. I mean,
We'll never know.
Well, we
It's
won't
never
know
gonna be.
because it's not. It's covered in that run, I assume. And
Oh
they-
yeah, no, it is, and we have it here in the
Yeah.
office. If you
Oh,
want,
great.
You know, we can.
Thus ends Bloodshot #1. Who is Bloodshot? Where did he come from? Well, he's a super soldier
Angelo
that
Mortali.
can do anything.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and he's Angelo Mortali. There, problem solved.
Yeah.
But not for Bloodshot.
No.
Just for us.
The problems for Bloodshot are just beginning. Bloodshot USA from Jeff Lemire and Doug Braithwaite.
So this was 92, 93.
93, yeah.
When did that come out?
2016.
That is a gap.
Yes. Now, this isn't the next Bloodshot book in the sequence, but
Right.
it is the next Bloodshot book that we had in our library.
Well,
Right.
and this is also a seminal Bloodshot.
It is, yeah. This is the same Bloodshot that was carried over from the Jeff Lemire run from Valiant when it was, was run by the previous guard.
Right.
As you pointed out off camera, they do a very, very good job of contextualizing you where you are, when you are, and who the players are.
Because Bloodshot has history in this.
That's right.
There was no history.
Right, and if you're going to pick up Bloodshot USA, then you probably should know a little bit about who Bloodshot was to begin with in order to get this 4-issue miniseries.
Yeah. It's a pretty intricate story at this point.
It is, and it involves many different moving parts, particularly because at this point Valiant was very focused on developing their interconnected universe and all their cast of characters. And of course, they all play integral roles because who would split up the Valiant universe, right? What studio would sell off different characters right when they had them all at once? So anyway, the story opens with Project Rising Spirit in a bunker where they proceed to explain to you what Bloodshot had been up to up until this, which was there was a big event in Valiant that took place, and in it, a character,
Geomancer.
Geomancer, yeah, basically expelled the nanites from Bloodshot's body, making him a regular person. What is Bloodshot without the nanites? Well, apparently he's boring and an alcoholic. So he, but then the airborne nanites that Geomancer expelled from Bloodshot became like an infectious disease that like made random people Bloodshot, and Bloodshot discovered that he had a superpower that he could reabsorb the nanites and pull them out of other people, and that's how he defeated them.
And becomes Bloodshot
And
again.
and ipso facto
Resets the
becomes
status
Bloodshot.
quo of Bloodshot.
Exactly.
But not only that, becoming like even more Bloodshot, right?
right. Well,
He's just Bloodshot.
He's just Bloodshot. They took out all the nanites. He gets them all back. But Project Rising Spirit was paying attention to all this, and they were like, that was a clusterfuck. But if we had control over those nanites, we made like an actual plague out of nanites that we controlled, but we could also then make a whole boatload of money when we cure it. They reveal their nefarious scheme, and they say like, how long will it take to do it? And
Don't you understand?
I did it 35 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
I was highly
don't
expecting
do
that.
that, thank goodness.
No, instead it's just a year later, and
Yeah.
it's a nightmare. They also explain that like Geomancer, who seemingly died in the last event, actually didn't die, or she was put into a Kryptonian healing coma or whatever. And but they took her and they fused her with some other like crap they had, and they made her into Deathmate. A year later, they released the nanite virus on Manhattan, and it is it's a madhouse. Everybody's Bloodshots, and they're like, not everyone. Certain people are Bloodshots, and they're attacking other people.
Right.
Oh no, they got a Violator in the book.
Yeah, right?
And he's giving somebody a noogie. But in the Pacific Ocean, Bloodshot and the Bloodshot Squad are floating in the Pacific Ocean on a raft, and the Bloodshot Squad is a team of Bloodshots from wars gone by consisting of Tank Man, Cold Man, Viet Man, Quiet Man, and Bloodhound.
Did you get all that? So
Doesn't matter.
Four
They're-
Bloodshots
Four
plus a blood
Bloodshots
dog.
plus Bloodhound. I love that
Bloodhound.
name. Brilliant. If you're going to make a Bloodshot into a dog, you
Yep.
got to call him Bloodhound. That's hilarious. Also, Viet Man. I wonder what war he fought in. So, but they're all bickering amongst themselves, and then Ninjak shows up and rescues them. And you're like, hey, Ninjak!
Hey.
Oh, a shared universe.
It's a crossover.
Yeah, but it makes sense because like they're friends. kinda.
Yeah. And he's like a special ops guy. He's like, you have to come right away.
Yeah.
There's been an incident.
Exactly. He is actually an MI5 agent.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I love the fact that they're stuck on this raft, and they're like, "What are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do? We'll go down in the
Well, I'm
ocean.
hungry. Go down to the ocean and kill another shark and have some fish.
I hate fish.
I've been eating fish for the past 2 days. I'm sick of it. And they're fighting amongst themselves. You're like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Project Rising Spirit is watching the carnage, and they're like, "Whoa, beautiful money."
Yes. And when are we going to fix this?
Yeah, well, later. But Agent Festival is like, "Oh, I was clearly caught into this, but now I guess I don't like it, and I don't want this. I don't want any part of this. I'll attack you." And then they just throw her and her associate in jail.
Her associate Magic, who is Bloodshot's love interest.
Yes.
Which is told to you at the front of the book.
Thank you.
Because otherwise you'd be like,
You would
who is
be
this
like,
person
who are
and
these
why
people?
do I care?
Why are you just throwing me in the deep end?
Yeah.
It's like, because I trust you to read the opening page. But yeah, so Magic and Festival are in jail. They're like, well, what are you so comfortable about? Magic's like, I got the card.
Yeah.
I swiped a key
I
card.
got swept a key card. We can get out of here. And she's like, oh, this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. So the team, so Unity shows up, which consists of Livewire, another superhero, and Ginger, cute name for a robot, sentient robot. That and they're trying to
It's actually pronounced Ginger.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if GIF and GIF is any indication.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're trying to just stave off the rising tide of the Bloodshot.
Yes.
Carnage.
And Livewire can control machines.
Right, which of course the Bloodshots can interface with and do that as well.
They have
so-
the nanites in their blood.
Yeah. And
yeah.
she's like sensing the nanites, and she's
Right.
like, oh my god.
There's too many of them. She can't just shut them off.
Yeah.
And it's not just like the nanites in these people, it's in the air. It's
in
everywhere.
the air itself, and that's when, of course, she gets infected by nanites. But yeah, so Ninjak kind of like offers some context for the Bloodshot gang before he is also affected because he had been in Manhattan before.
Yep.
So he was infected by the nanites, but it had a delayed reaction, and so Ninjak gets like addled by it, and then the plane they're in like crashes. Of course, the Bloodshots walk away from it with no problem.
Yeah.
And when they arrive, they reveal that Livewire is now a Bloodshot, and Ninjak beheads our Bloodshot because now Bloodjack is revealed, or Ninblood.
Right.
Bloodjack is much better.
You missed my favorite part of the book.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When the evil corporate
overlords.
executives are like talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well,
Now-
Bloodshot's here with Ninjak, so we're gonna have to move ahead to phase 2.
Phase
Oh,
2? I never
no.
signed on for phase 2!
No, trust me, you're here. Also, yeah,
So
that's
see,
there's
the nanites have been in the water and the air. Everyone who's been
For
in Manhattan
months.
in the last month has been infected.
Everyone!
yeah, that's right. Humana, even Ninjak. So we got that. There's two moments in this book that are like classic cheesy. What the fuck? That was one of them. The other one was, of course, when they were explaining Bloodshot. They said that he went even more rogue than he did before when he abandoned Project Rising Spirit.
Yes.
And I'm like, you can't go even more rogue.
No, you can.
Yeah.
Rogue is the maximum amount
No,
that you
he
can
just went
possibly
roguer.
go. You
Yeah.
can't go roguer.
He's the roguest.
Yeah.
You can go rogue. Once you go rogue, you're off the beaten path. There's no less beaten than the path you're on when you are rogue.
Well, he was off the beaten path. He was on like a poorly marked.
Right, now he's off the reservation,
yes.
I guess. Like,
Oh.
that's roguer than that.
Yeah.
You take the high rogue, and I'll take the low rogue, and I'll be even more roguer before you.
Right.
Maybe he stopped going rogue and went like a little bit like not rogue, and that's even more rogue.
Right,
you
because
think
you've
he's
been rogue,
but
and
now he's
then-
like slightly less rogue. It's like, oh, I don't even know what he's doing.
Is that like anti-rogue?
Yeah.
That's just roguing again.
It's roguing your rogue.
Yeah. In any event, Bloodshot USA, part 1 of a 4-issue miniseries that also gives you the next era of Bloodshot.
Yeah.
Well, apparently gives you all the bloodshhots.
That's
there's
true.
there's
You
like
get-
8 Bloodshots.
You got like
in this book.
16 Bloodshots for the price of 1. Not bad.
When is Ginger going to become a bloodshot?
I don't know. Bloodshot.
All right, that brings us to Bloodshot number 1, written by Tim Seeley, with art by Brett Booth. Bloodshot is a living weapon, a nanite-filled super soldier who is forever at war. He's choosing his own battles. He's gone rogue.
Oh no!
They don't say that. That's my
okay.
words.
Okay.
Except his missions have made waves, and now a mysterious black bar has their sights on him. But what do they have planned for this unkillable hero? Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah.
So we are at the G7 summit
Okay.
in France 2 days ago. And we've got some bureaucrats, prime ministers, or one of them's a prime minister anyway.
Yeah, heads of state.
Heads of state, and one of them's looking over these documents that he's got, and there's something redacted on it. It's like, well, how could it be redacted? I'm a prime minister. This is ridiculous. And then the lights go out. Oh no, what happened? Well, let's go forward to where we are now. It's a little weird.
Wait a minute. We can't do that, can we?
Yeah.
Let's go forward?
Yeah, let's
we're
go
going
forward.
forward.
Oh my
Moving on.
God.
So we're in a military convoy here, or I guess it's mercenaries.
Yes.
We've got some mercenaries at a container port in
Yemen.
Yemen.
Yeah.
And these badasses are doing nefarious stuff. It's a little unclear to me what they're doing.
I think they're taking food aid to villagers.
Right. There's a food truck, a Civaid truck.
Yes.
Civaid, I guess, is the organization that's supposed to be helping people.
Right.
No, the mercenaries are there to take the civ aid away from the people it's helping
Yes.
because the civ aid could be given to possible insurgents.
That's right. They're trying to prevent it from getting to the insurgents because or to the people who are supporting the insurgents.
Exactly.
They're trying to like basically starve them into submission. So it's very evil.
Right.
And
Well, they're mercenaries.
one of them opens the back or opens up a container, and there's like people inside. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, there's people here. And the guy's like, what's the problem?
Waste 'em.
Just get rid of them.
Yeah.
And so he's about to kill them, and then Bloodshot, someone grabs him and pulls him under the truck.
Oh.
And then you hear like gross sounds, and you see sinister eyes under the truck, which is like a very cool image.
Yes.
And they're like, oh crap, shoot him! And he comes out guns blazing, and there's a cool fight scene in which he gets shot many times. So you get to see like, oh, he doesn't, damage doesn't affect him.
Right.
He tells the people like, don't worry, I'm gonna get this aid to the village. So like
Yes.
that is like he is really
He's really focused on doing this
Yeah.
thing that he won't
Those
end up
people are
doing.
like, but we wanted it.
well.
The aid was
No,
for us.
I think they
Not
were
both of
there to
you.
get it for their village.
Yeah.
So the mercenaries give chase because there's a whole lot of them. He doesn't kill all of them. There's too
Yeah.
many of them.
Sure.
They come after him in a Humvee. He's driving the truck. He's smashing into them. And then they say like over the radio, they're like, "There's an insurgent. He's got a truck. He might be trying to use it as a weapon."
Yeah.
As a suicide bomb.
Yeah. And then like they mentioned that there's a bomb on the truck. So like,
Right.
I think they were gonna
Blow up
use
the-
the truck.
Oh,
to,
that
like,
was their plan. Maybe.
yeah.
And
It was
they
like
were
even more sinister than they said it was.
Yeah. We're not just taking food. We're gonna blow the food up
Yeah.
in one of your areas
Yep.
to kill like other people. Maximum shock and awe.
Yes.
That is the roguest.
That's,
No, that's very
no,
by the
that's-
numbers.
Yeah, that's calculated savagery.
That's right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So then
I redact my rogue.
Let's black bar it.
so then they come after him with a tank. They're up in the stakes.
He's got a tank.
Oh my god, a tank!
Comes the A-Team movie.
And they're like, oh, they got him now. And then the evil
The
head,
main henchman or
yeah,
whatever.
who
like,
you thought was dead, he comes out of the truck.
oh no.
And they're like, oh, I thought you were dead. He's like, well, I'm not. And then he kills them. And then
like,
he turns out he's
what?
Bloodshot, because Bloodshot can morph into like different things.
Yeah.
Different
Oh
my
shapes.
God.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Bloodshot has many powers. So it's those nanites, the nanites.
It's the nanites.
Yeah.
It's the little nanites.
So then he gets the tank. So now upgrade. So
This is like every mission in a Call of Duty game.
yeah,
That's fine.
it's kind of It's
Now you get that tank.
and instead of using the tank to blow up like other vehicles, he like smashes the barrel of the tank into the truck that he was
Yeah.
driving with the food aid to like embed it in it so he can like drag the truck along with him because the cab was smashed up by the tank, so
Right.
it won't drive anymore, but he still needs to get that food aid to the people.
Yeah.
So now he's dragging a truck with a tank, and there's still more mercenaries. They pull out a rocket launcher, like, oh, we're
Oh.
gonna get him now.
And the rocket launcher is the only thing that can like pierce the tank.
Yes.
Yes.
And they shoot the side of the tank, and it shatters the side of the tank, and like all this like shrapnel like flies
Goes
into,
into Bloodshot.
Bloodshot's body, and he's like on fire. And you're like, oh, he's in trouble now. His
Oh,
whole
no.
tank's on fire, and then like a crazy,
Drone.
some sort of like GI Joe looking.
A straight up HK from Terminator 2 comes
yes.
down.
Yeah, it's got vertical.
Yep.
Helicopter blade things. It's kind of like an Osprey, but with a machine gun on the front, and it blows up the bad guys, and Bloodshot is on
Bathed in
fire.
fire.
Yeah, and he's like climbing out of the truck. He's like,
Melting.
please, I promised I'd bring them the food. You got to help them. And the guys in the plain thing, or like, you did a good thing, Bloodshot, and we're gonna make sure that those people get that food. And so now I'm gonna take you out.
Shoot you.
Yeah, so he shoots Bloodshot in the face. You're like, what?
What the hell?
And there's all these crazy looking agents
Right.
that get out of the helicopter.
Everyone's very distinct in this book.
Yeah, and they're like super high tech. So you're like, oh, these guys are even more powerful than those mercenaries he was fighting.
Right. Whoa.
And he says, I want you to know all those things you think about humanity, everything about us that makes you do what you do. Well, you're right. I'm sorry. Like,
And then he shoots him.
implying that, like, yeah, we're bad.
We're scum.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's weird, and I'm not quite sure what we're
You're
supposed
not
to get out of
You're
this.
supposed to be like, whoa, what's going on?
What-
I thought it was one thing, but now it's another.
Yeah, and then we go back to the 2 days ago,
Yeah,
so we get to
beginning
finish
of
what
the
was
movie,
happening
or
there.
book.
And you see these guys, these
Intricate-looking people.
these characters who don't have a name yet. I guess they're the
They're Black Bar.
Black Bar. They come into the room of all the prime ministers and stuff.
Yes.
And they're walking around with machine guns.
Yeah.
And they're like, so we're gonna explain to you what's going on. Like, you've heard about all these like super threats to civilization, like nuclear war and geomagnetic storms and all this stuff.
And aliens.
And aliens.
birdemics.
And what I'm gonna tell you is that like none of those hold a candle to the danger that is Bloodshot.
Okay.
Because he is like,
A one-man army.
and then they show you, like, it's a very great line. He says, to put it more simply, God no longer trusts man.
Oh.
So it's like, we've created this monster.
Yeah, who can't be stopped.
Who can't be stopped.
And he doesn't like us anymore.
Right. So then what?
Right. What do you do about that?
And
It's like I Frankenstein.
that's,
I saw that movie.
I did.
I did too. Yeah.
You're welcome
Well,
for that
it's not
reference.
like I Frankenstein.
So then the lights go dark, and then the lights come back up, and those guys
gone.
are gone.
Yeah.
They're like ghosts.
and the guy and the prime minister who bitched about it was
He's like, what the heck was that?
Why are my pants wet?
And
wet my pants?
the lady who was, explaining things to him before is like, don't you wish you stayed in the dark now? Because now you know what's real. Now you know the major, super crazy threats the world's up against.
Yeah.
Ethan, you skipped my favorite part of
What's
that book.
that?
You know, the fact that Bloodshot shoots one of the guys through the face in his mouth. And then while he's chasing him, the guy who shoots the rocket launcher and is like
Yeah.
going after him.
He's got the hole in the mouth.
He's got the hole in the mouth.
And he can't
That's
talk right. Yeah.
We have to go.
That's the fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a fun little thing.
yay.
And the shot where he gets the bullet that goes like through his cheeks, I
Yeah.
remember seeing that thing like, oh, that was kind of cool. And then like 3 pages later,
You
you
remind
hear him
you.
talking. I'm
You're
like,
like,
oh.
He's got the hole.
Yeah, the guy that I just remember that from before.
From a few pages ago, yeah.
You know, it wouldn't just hit his teeth. It would also like probably rip out most of his tongue.
He'd be
Oh
dead.
yeah, well that's why he can't talk right.
Yeah.
His tongue's gone.
Yeah. And he's conscious enough to wield the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Anyway, so 3 generations of Bloodshot. Which one's the good, the bad, and the ugly? Taking all bets, gentlemen. What do you think?
All right, so
And
this is hard.
I forgot to mention, we also have a special long box dedicated to the worst of the worst. And that we call the wrong box. And at the end of every episode, we try to figure out if there are any nominations for the wrong box. I
Right.
mean,
It's always a threat.
It's so
looming
tempting.
over the books that we're doing.
Yes, because those go into a special place that I keep that will eventually rear their ugly heads once again. So bear in mind,
There's a lot at stake here. It's
a lot
not
at
just the good, the bad, and the ugly.
No,
it's
also the wrong box.
Possibility of wrong box.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a good, I would go with
Which
the
you do.
original Bloodshot.
God damn it. I knew you were going to do that. You contrarian fuck.
I love how you say this after the fact. I like this Bloodshot. I knew you were gonna pick that.
you were gonna
asshole.
pick the
You
worst
didn't say
one.
you like-
Well, you picked wrong.
Yeah.
That book
because
sucked.
that book sucks.
It's at least a complete comic.
Let's hear. Let's.
Okay, yeah, no.
All right,
I'm just giving
so-
you a hard time, but go ahead.
So it starts off. You don't know who Bloodshot is.
Right.
He's
Nobody does.
on his own. He's on a mission. You get some background information as to how he was created and why,
Mm-hmm.
and then he is sent to be contained and captured. They fail, and he has to go off on his own.
Right.
And we get a little background information of like who Bloodshot initially was.
Right.
It's simple.
Right. It introduces his character and the premise of he's trying to find out his identity.
Is it great? No. But I would argue that none of these books are great. So of them, this is at least the good one because it's self-contained. This one has a whole mess of shit. This is my ugly. Because you get into all of these different characters. It's incredibly confusing. Even with the background page, the explanation of what's going on, it's just, oh, evil corporations wringing their hands and we're terrible.
They're doing that and this and that. They're all over the place. That's Bloodshot.
This
Bloodshot
is
is
not
made by an evil corporation.
This is not Machiavellian. This is just an old man trying to create a super soldier serum so that he can live forever. That's my bad because it's a fine story, but at the same time it's just, we can't contain Bloodshot. It's just Bloodshot. Oh, I'm on a mission for peace now. I hate humanity, so I'm gonna deliver food.
So this one's too hot. This one's too cold. That one's just right.
It's at least a comic.
Right.
I get that Bloodshot in 2019 version is like, I'm gonna deliver food and I promise these people. I'm like, that's your motivation. This is your background. You're a humanitarian now.
Yeah, I assume he's doing that. Today it's this, tomorrow it's something else. It's like A-Team.
Yeah, I'm a hunter for peace.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? That's not the Bloodshot I want to read.
But this one more so.
I'd rather read the rest of this. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
For me, this is very hard.
It's a very
I also
Sophie's
didn't
choice
like
for
the
me.
art in this one.
I
It was
prefer
rough.
I prefer the Brett Booth art.
The art is better
This
than that.
art is pretty good.
But
I
it was
dig
hard to
this.
understand what was going on, I guess, because we got the black.
You got the black and white version. That was my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know what's funny? When I first opened this one, I don't want to talk too much about the black and white. It's
No,
not
but
how
I
it's supposed to
actually
be
really
read.
dug it.
And I was like, this is gonna be hard. And then as I got through, I was like, no, actually, I can tell what's going on. Like it's pretty well drawn. It's pretty cool looking.
Right.
My problem with this book is that it's like mostly just cool looking.
Yes.
I really dig the first and the last sections where it's like the prime ministers and they're like introducing what's happening, which is weird because normally I find that exposition like
Kind of
boring.
tedious.
But I don't know, like just the idea that like, okay, it's really the last 2 pages
Yes.
of this book like make it for me because I didn't care about what Bloodshot was doing.
No.
At all. It was cool action. It was
It's
just
cool
a fun
looking,
action
but
scene.
that's it.
But introducing this concept that like, okay, look, we created this guy. Not us,
It got
not
away
you and
from
me,
us, yeah,
but
but
like
humanity.
someone
The world
did, and like he's super powerful, and now he's pissed at us,
Right.
After all the like crap that he got put through, and we got to do something about it. I'm like, that's kind of an interesting. I want to see where this goes.
Right.
And of all these books, this is the only one where I actually want to like know what happens next.
Yeah.
That having been said, the entire central part of the book is just boring for me.
It's just a big
It's
fight.
just a big stupid fight.
Yeah.
And like you said, his motivation is like, I gotta get food to these people.
It's not
like,
enough. It's not. There's no personal stakes.
yeah,
It's not very
like, why?
interesting.
Well, it
What-
also
why do you care
betrays the
about-
whole idea of like, oh, he's pissed at us. He's gonna like take us all down.
he's gonna feed us.
So he's gonna
He's
help
pissed-
these people.
Yeah, well, he's helping like the victims
Yeah.
of like greed and
graft and-
yeah. So he's like, I'm helping like normal people because the like higher ups are all
Won't let
like
them-
corrupt and evil.
Well, and the next person on our list is Red Cross.
I would think that they would be someone that he would want to work with.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
he-
not his list. I'm talking about the evil organization.
Yeah,
Black
like-
Bar.
yeah.
Black Bar's like, we have to take care
Well-
of Bloodshot. And next it's Red Cross and
Yeah.
Salvation Army.
And that's another, it's like very simplistic. Like the bad guys are like so evil.
Yes.
They're gonna send a food truck with a bomb in it to like kill people.
Right.
But, you know, crazy stuff does happen, like countries bomb hospitals and stuff to like intentionally
Yeah, and they don't
harm
have
civilian
bloodshots in them,
populations.
so it's, you know, it's supposed to be a little
as
hyper.
a distillation of like reality, it's not like totally wrong.
It's not off.
Yeah, it's just it's without knowing what the hell Bloodshot's doing there. Like,
Yeah.
how do you find out about these people?
Right,
Like,
yeah, no,
does he have
doesn't
a
matter.
particular attraction to Yemen?
Right,
or
why
is
Yemen?
it just like, well, that's the most effed up place in the world right now, so that's where I'm going?
I guess.
You don't get to find out. There's just no. Like, but
Context.
they wanted to like throw you in.
That's right.
And with a cool action scene, it's just it's not for me.
You needed a scene with a tank in it. We had to pick
Yeah.
a place that would have a tank naturally. So we
yeah.
picked.
So for me, this is the bad.
Right.
That's the ugly, and it's maybe if I was reading it in 1992, I would have been okay with it. But for now, it's just like it's so boring.
Yes.
It's so cliched, but not in like a fun way like this is. This is insanity.
Yeah.
This is like balls to the wall, crazy, throw everything
Six
in the
other
kitchen
books
sink.
all at
yeah, all
once.
smashed up, and I kind of dig it.
Right.
So yeah, that's the ugly for me. Although when I was reading it, I'm like, this isn't bad. It's just boring.
Right.
It's a spy movie, but with Bloodshot in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't get on board.
That's fair.
Um,
Both opinions are valid. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. This I had a lot of fun reading. This
That's
book.
the thing. I had the most fun reading Bloodshot USA. I wish that Brett Booth had drawn it, because then you'd have the best of both worlds. It would look cool, and it would all. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's competently drawn.
Yeah.
It's not like it's bad.
Yeah, it's not
looking.
terrible.
It's
No,
just like
there were some spots where it was rough.
It was a little rough, and I'm like, and it's like, okay, whatever. Like, I want to see some more high-flying, fun, cool shit, and that's the most of it.
You get the most of that here.
the most-
as much as action you get in this book, this
Yeah.
is more like
This is a
high-tense action.
globe-trotting
This is a
adventure.
superhero book. At
Yes.
the end of the day, this is the actual superhero book out of all of them.
Yeah.
And Bloodshot, I don't really consider to be a superhero.
Hmm.
So, like, it's kind of fun that you get it, because Bloodshot is the only one who actually doesn't do anything in this book.
Yeah,
but,
he, does he gets his head cut off.
He gets his head cut off by Ninjak, arguably a more fun superhero. So, like, at the end of the day, I enjoyed this one the most, so I'm going to give it the good. This one's not bad. I think it's actually, like, especially if you're trying to distance yourself from this era and make something very different.
Yes.
This is a good start. And again, like, I'm glad that they put their best foot forward, which is the visuals. They were like, listen, it needs to look awesome, and it needs to, like, hit you in the face with action so that you are on board for, like, what would be normally considered the boring stuff, like the intrigue. But the intrigue itself is also kind of intriguing. This
Well, the beginning and the end bookended.
yeah, and the book ending was like, it's very cliche, like, what are we gonna do? But like, it's like, I like the black bar term. I'm glad they changed it. Originally, the original version, they had like actual black bars over the name Black Bar,
Oh.
but I didn't know it was called Black Bar, and I'm like, what? When are you gonna tell me the name of the organization? They're like, no, it's called Black Bar, and I'm like, that's funny, and they're like, no, it's really called that. The problem was they were trying to be like grown-up comics
Well, they were
with
establishing themselves.
superheroes.
Yeah.
They wanted to set themselves apart, and they were like, well, we're gonna do the like kind of James Bondy, but like more real, with people in super suits and nanites. And it was like, this does not look very good.
No, the art is bad.
And if it's boring and it looks bad, you've lost me twice. So
Yeah.
I'm out. Like, and like, and the other interesting thing is for Valiant back then, everything looked like that. It's like they had one person draw all of Valiant, so it all looked like this one uniform style that, for me, actually, it's funny because it defined for me as a kid the look of what I'm like. This is what not Marvel and DC comics look like. And when Image came on the scene, they were like, they look like this now, and that was a revelation.
Yeah.
If Valiant had sniped top tier Marvel talent back then, I think they would have been like a major player on the scene back then.
One thing I will say about it, it is pretty boring. The writing, though, is actually like not horrible.
No,
it's like it's a story that is competently told.
And they're trying, and they're doing the best with what they. They're
Well, what they decided the book is about.
Yes, they know what the book's about. They're giving it to you, and they're also not overloading you with.
Yeah.
They're not over-explaining itself. Like,
And
they trust you to get it.
This is the beginning of Bloodshot. Like, it's a possibility they even don't even know where it's going yet.
That's true. I would
They're
hope
kind of
they
building
do.
that universe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure they don't think it's going here.
they have no plan for that. But yeah, so
Yeah. You know the other reason why? Because I remember when I finished reading that book, I'm like, that wasn't a bad book. But looking back on all of them, the story is one that I've seen 1,000 times.
that's the thing. There's nothing that really sets it apart from another story.
Yeah.
Because it was made in '92, I think.
Well, that's
We've
maybe
had a
at the,
lot of
maybe at the
stories.
time it hadn't been told 1,000 times. I don't know. You
don't
tell
know.
me. I wasn't reading comics.
Well,
at the
it's like,
time,
well,
but,
and
like,
what? Well, then
who
when-
am I? I gotta find out my back. I don't care.
Yeah, the who am I
don't
has
care
been
who
done.
You care very much who you are.
Right, but
I
you're
don't
also
give
not
a
real.
crap who
and
you
I-
are.
Yeah, but I'm not giving you $3.50 to find out every month. Like,
Yeah,
I will-
$3.50 in '92. Yeesh.
that's like,
This was like $4.
this is $3.99.
Wow.
So like, yeah. I mean, that being said, it's a first issue and it has like this,
Yeah, it's got
Crazy
that
cover.
great cover.
yeah.
It's got the poster in the
And
middle.
it's
paying
got
for the
blood.
Yeah,
and
and
the
blood.
novelty of that at the time was probably, pretty
I'm sure it earned a whole bunch of fans because
Yeah.
of its
willingness to
Willingness
show
to show
people a woman gets shot in the head on the first page.
right. That is kind of shocking.
Yeah.
But they all, it's funny, they all come from a perspective of earnest like desire to get you to read Bloodshot. You know, they're not just like doing a Bloodshot. They're like,
Yeah.
well, it's 2019 or it's 2016 or it's 1993. Time for a Bloodshot book. Like here's Bloodshot. Take it or leave it. And it's like, there you go. This was like, hey, Bloodshot. You know what? It did pretty well. We got the same guy who relaunched Bloodshot with us to do this mini series, and this is take it or leave it Valiant.
Yeah.
Well, this
Boom.
is all Valiant. You've
all
got
of
Ninjak.
it.
You've got the Bloodshot team.
Livewire.
Bloodshot's
Livewire
part
and
of a
Ginger.
bigger
Tons of
world.
stuff.
Yeah, you and everyone is at their
And
respective
it's
points.
intricate.
Yes, and also the fun aspect of like, oh no, there's like a pandemic.
Yeah.
Then you
And
got
an evil people pulling the strings.
money grubbing, hand wringing villains.
yes, and then you got New Valiant, which is literally like, hey, we're trying something else.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I don't wanna
This
tell
got
you-
a little out of hand.
Yeah. Well, and we don't want you to feel like you wasted time reading this. So like it all
It did
happened.
happen, yeah.
But Bloodshot's in a different place now.
Yeah, now he's the A-team.
Yeah. Now he is the one-man A team. He's the B team
Yeah.
for Bloodshot.
I think
So,
he's
yeah.
I think he's even more like the A team, like you had to pay the A team. Well, although sometimes not, but like there was an implication that you had to pay. He's like, no, I'm just a do-gooder
I just do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
with
where's that go?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I mean, they're all respectable efforts. It's just like I think there are some, we all have very different opinions.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
at the end of the day, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Technically.
Yeah, by
that's okay.
by
vote.
association.
Is it wrong box worthy?
No.
No.
So yeah, we'll see you guys next time with an all-new episode. Hey, Bloodshot is a movie that's out. If you want to see more of those movies, you got to go see them when they open. So
Yeah.
it's over, but hey, enjoy.
Yeah, it's out there. Go watch.
It's out there. I will say, the movie borrows from all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea of like, what's my past? Who am I? The nanites. I can do things with them, and they're important. And also, like, it's a fun schlocky. Like, hey, here's some here's some shit you've seen 1,000 times, but like, how about this? But you've never seen it with Vin Diesel. And it's like, that's kind of fun.
Sure, we did. We saw Riddick.
That's true.
Well,
it's
yeah, but
nothing
what
like
if Riddick had nanites?
It's nothing like Riddick, because Riddick doesn't care. He's just like, I'll just kill you. Fuck it. But
Yeah.
like this guy, like the Bloodshot, it takes convention and it actually does something interesting with it, which I kind of really appreciated.
Okay.
It's not stupid. It's pretty good. Like
Alright.
I may see it again because I want you guys to see it. Well, we should go see
Yeah.
it.
So
Guys,
it's not like a must-see movie, but like if you're gonna see it,
well,
it's worthwhile
here's the
seeing in
thing.
theaters.
Yeah.
If you want another one, you must see it this weekend. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys next time on an all-new episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
So long.
What did Natalie Imbruglia do?
Torn.
Nothing's
Yeah,
right,
anything
I'm
else?
torn. She did one other song that was also as popular, or like less popular than Torn.
Illusions never change into something real.
Nailed it.
I'm wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn.
Okay, all right.
All right.
All right. Moving on. Test.
You got me.
Oop. Hey. Test. Okay.
Sorry, I was keeping the rhythm.
Yeah, no, it's a good song. It overtakes you. She's still touring with that song.
Now Joanna
Does that-
Sandman.
What? I do one song.